Hello, and thank you for watching our video on the 4 most important estate planning documents that you should have. Now, if I were to ask people, tell me the most, I'm sure many of you would say it's the will, right? The will is the one that tells who gets what and when and all that, and you would be right. But there are actually 4 others that I think are as important, if not more so, because they impact in ways that death doesn't. So let's talk about them. The first one is what's called a power of attorney for health care. Okay, so what this does is it gives somebody the power to make healthcare decisions for you. So if you need to have a procedure done, somebody needs to say yes to that, okay? And that would be the healthcare power of attorney. The next one is what's called a physician's directive. I call that the pull the plug document, okay? That's where you have 2 independent physicians that say that, there's no recovery, and so it's okay, and you say you want the plug pulled. This one's very important. We've all seen the stories in the news of somebody that was kept on life support and the family was fighting over how to get them off and the judge was saying no, and they were watching thousands and thousands of dollars just vanish on life support when there was no hope of surviving that. So if some of you morally don't believe in this, I understand, but if you don't have a problem with it, the physician's directive is that document. The next document is one that's called a guardianship document. Okay, so what is that? Well, you recall when you had kids or if you did have kids and you thought to yourself, okay, if we're not around, who's going to take care of the kids? Who's going to wash them, bathe them, take them to school and feed them and drive them around and all that? Well, the same decisions have to be made if you become incapacitated. Somebody has to be in charge of your body. Who's going to take care of you physically and drive you around and do all those kind of things? You don't want just anybody doing that, and maybe, so you got to designate who's going to do that. That's called the guardianship document. And then finally, there's the durable power of attorney. What's that? Well, that is the power of attorney you give somebody over your finances, okay? Now, this is somebody you give the right to pay your bills, to invest your money, to do your finances for you. This is different than the healthcare, okay? It could be the same person, but keep in mind it's different because you could have one person that says, yes, the procedure, I approve it, but then you have this other person over here that says, no, I'm not paying for it. I'm just kidding. But you gotta have, there's somebody who's in charge of the money and somebody who's in charge of the healthcare, somebody's in charge of your physical being, and someone is in charge of deciding to pull the plug. Those 4 documents can be all the same person. They can be different people. That's totally up to you. Okay, but you need to have all 4 of those because if you don't, then you could have family bickering. We've seen the situation with Casey Kasem that's been in the news recently, and many others where families have gone to war with each other over these things. Had the documents been in place, the finances, the inconvenience, the emotional trauma would all have been very likely avoided. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you for watching this. We have lots of different videos for you on lots of different other topics that I think will be of benefit to you. Go to moneymatters.net to find all of those as well. So thanks again for watching.